Defeat begins in the mind long before it ever shows up in your circumstances. Long before your finances fell apart, before that relationship broke down, before that opportunity slipped away, a seed of defeat was planted in your thoughts. It whispered, "You can't do it. You're not good enough. Nothing ever works out for you." And slowly you started to believe it. You started to live small, think small, dream small, not because God's plan for you was small, but because your perspective became trapped in defeat. But you were never meant to live that way. You were created to live with confidence, to walk with strength, to face each day with courage. Life was never meant to be a constant cycle of fear, anxiety, and regret. The moment you realize that defeat begins in the mind, you can take back control of your life. You can choose what thoughts you allow to take root, what words you speak over yourself, what identity you carry. You see, victory is not just something you hope for, it is something you choose. Every day you wake up, you decide whether you will live from a place of defeat or a place of victory. And the good news is, you don't fight for victory, you fight from victory. The battle has already been won for you, but you must step into it. You must claim it. You must declare, "I refuse to live defeated one more day of my life." Some of you have been living under the weight of past mistakes, carrying guilt and shame like heavy chains. You've been replaying the same failures in your mind over and over until you've convinced yourself this is all you deserve. But I want to tell you today, that is a lie. You are not what you've done. You are not what happened to you. You are not the sum of your failures. You are who God says you are, chosen, loved, redeemed, and destined for more than this. When you allow those truths to take root in your mind, everything begins to change. Fear loses its grip, bitterness melts away, anxiety gives way to peace. You start walking differently, talking differently, believing differently because you know who you belong to. You are no longer a victim of your past. You are a victor in the present. But consistent victory takes more than just one emotional moment. It takes a daily decision to refuse the thoughts of defeat that try to creep back in. It takes filling your mind with what is true, what is good, what is uplifting. It takes speaking life over yourself when everything around you seems to speak death. It takes reminding yourself that you are not alone in the battle, that you have a helper, a strength, a source of power greater than anything you face. Defeat thrives in isolation, but victory grows in connection. Surround yourself with people who build you up, who remind you of the truth, who push you toward your purpose instead of pulling you back into your past. Guard your heart, guard your mind, guard your inner circle, because what you allow in will eventually shape the way you live. Every day, choose to stand tall. When you wake up in the morning, declare victory over your day. Say, "Today I will not live in defeat. Today I will not be ruled by fear. Today I choose faith. Today I walk in confidence because I know I am not alone." Speak it until you believe it, and believe it until you see it. And when life knocks you down because it will refuse to stay down, get back up. Dust yourself off. Remind yourself that one setback does not define your story. Consistent victory is not about never falling. It's about never staying down. Every time you rise, you prove that the enemy cannot keep you where you were meant to grow. Some of you are fighting silent battles that no one else can see. You smile on the outside, but inside you feel like you're drowning. Let me encourage you, you are closer to breakthrough than you think. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. You just have to keep standing, keep believing, keep trusting. The same God who brought you through before will bring you through again. Defeat begins in the mind, but so does victory. The moment you renew your thinking, you renew your future. The moment you start seeing yourself as chosen and capable, your life begins to align with that truth. You start walking into opportunities that once seemed impossible. You start overcoming obstacles that once looked too big to face. You start seeing that what was meant to break you has actually built you into someone stronger. You have a calling that is too great to waste on living defeated. Your family needs to see you rise. Your children need to know that fear does not have the final word. Your friends, your community, even strangers who cross your path need to see what victory looks like so they can believe it's possible for them too. Your life can become the evidence that God still works miracles, still restores broken dreams, still turns hopeless situations around. So stop agreeing with defeat. Stop speaking defeat over your life. Stop letting your past dictate your future. Choose today to think differently, speak differently, live differently. Choose today to align your thoughts with truth and watch how your life begins to change. Victory is not about being perfect. It's about persevering. It's about getting up one more time than you fall down. It's about trusting the one who has already overcome the world. It's about living with the quiet confidence that no matter what comes your way, you are not alone and you are not defeated. You were created for victory. It is time to live like it. Step into your purpose. Walk with courage, stand with faith, and remember defeat may begin in the mind, but so does victory. Choose victory and let the world see what it looks like when a life is lived from a place of strength, freedom, and unshakable hope. There comes a moment in every life when you must stop living in defeat and make the decision to walk in victory. Too many people go through life expecting loss, expecting failure, expecting that their best days are gone. They wake up every morning rehearsing their pain, replaying their regrets, and repeating the same patterns that keep them stuck. But you were not created to live that way. You were not designed to wake up every day feeling hopeless. There is a greater plan for your life, one filled with purpose, power, and victory. Victory is not just a single moment you experience when something goes right. Victory is a way of living. It is not just about one good day or one answered prayer. It is about a mindset, a pattern, a daily decision to rise above fear, failure, and defeat. Victory is not meant to be a rare event in your life. It is meant to be the atmosphere you breathe in every single day. Defeat begins in the mind before it shows up in your circumstances. Long before you quit on a dream, you accept defeat in your thoughts. The enemy whispers that you are too weak, too broken, too far gone, and too unworthy. But here is the truth: you are not fighting for victory, you are fighting from victory. You have already been given the power to overcome. The battle may still rage, but the outcome has already been decided. When you understand this, you can stop living like a victim and start living like a victor. Living in victory does not mean life will be easy. It does not mean you will never face challenges or setbacks. It means that even in the face of storms, you choose to believe that you are not alone, that there is strength greater than your own carrying you through. You get knocked down, but you refuse to stay down. You may cry, but you keep moving forward. You may feel weak, but you hold on to faith because you know that your weakness is where divine strength shows up the strongest. Victory is not passive. It takes courage to refuse defeat. It takes courage to look at your past and say, "You will not control me anymore." It takes courage to face your fears and keep moving even when everything inside you wants to quit. It takes courage to forgive those who hurt you, to release bitterness, to let go of what you cannot control. Every step of faith you take, every time you choose love over hate, hope over despair, and trust over worry, you are living in victory. Some of you have been carrying guilt and shame for far too long. You have let your past mistakes convince you that you are not worthy of joy or peace. But today can be the day you step out of that prison. You cannot live in victory while holding on to a defeated identity. You must let go of who you were and embrace who you are meant to be. The same power that raised Christ from the dead can raise you out of hopelessness, out of defeat, and into a brand new life. Consistent victory requires surrender. You cannot live this out on willpower alone. You need a source of strength greater than yourself. That is why every day must begin with surrender, surrender of fear, surrender of pride, surrender of control. Victory is not about you trying harder, it is about you trusting deeper. When you hand over the pen and let God write your story, you stop worrying about how it will end. You stop fighting battles that aren't yours to fight. You start living with peace, confidence, and purpose. When you wake up tomorrow morning, speak victory over your day before it even begins. Declare that you will not be ruled by fear. Declare that you will not be a prisoner to anxiety. Declare that you will rise above every challenge that comes your way because you are not fighting alone. This is not just positive thinking, this is aligning your life with the truth that you were created to walk in freedom. Victory as a lifestyle means you keep going even when you do not see immediate results. It means you choose to praise even when you are still waiting for the breakthrough. It means you keep sowing seeds even when you have not yet seen the harvest. Your faith is not based on what you see, it is based on what you know to be true, and you know that the one who called you to live victoriously is faithful to finish what he started in you. Your life becomes a testimony of what victory looks like. People are watching you, your family, your children, your co-workers, and they are seeing how you respond when life gets hard. They are looking to see if you will crumble under pressure or rise in faith. When you choose victory every single day, you show them what is possible. You give them hope that they too can overcome. Imagine the impact your life could have if you lived every day with the confidence that you were already on the winning side. Imagine how your words, your actions, and your attitude would inspire the people around you. You would no longer just be surviving, you would be thriving. You would wake up with purpose and go to bed with peace. That is what consistent victory looks like. So today, make the choice. Stop living in defeat. Stop letting your past dictate your future. Stop believing the lies that you are not enough. Choose victory. Choose faith over fear, perseverance over quitting, surrender over control. The secret to consistent victory is not found in your own strength. It is found in the one who strengthens you. You are stronger than you think. You are braver than you feel, and you are more victorious than you realize. Step into that truth today. Let victory become your lifestyle, not just a fleeting moment. Walk with your head held high, not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. The world needs to see the light of victory shining through you. Your life can be the proof that defeat does not have the final word. Rise up. Take the first step and never look back. Victory is yours today, tomorrow, and for the rest of your life. There comes a moment in every person's life when they must make a decision. Stay stuck in defeat or step into the freedom that is already available to them. Too many of us have grown accustomed to living beneath our calling, carrying the weight of past failures, allowing fear and regret to dictate our choices. But hear me clearly, you were never created to live in defeat. You were created to live in freedom, to walk in victory, and to experience a life that is marked by peace and purpose. Defeat is not always about losing a battle on the outside. Most of the time, it starts on the inside. It starts with the thoughts that tell you that you are not enough, that you will never change, that your mistakes have defined you forever. It starts with those quiet lies that you have allowed to grow into strongholds in your heart. And when you believe them, you live as though they are true. But the truth is, you have already been given victory. The question is whether you will walk in it. You cannot have consistent victory without first confronting what has been holding you back. Many people want freedom, but they want it on their own terms. They want breakthrough, but they do not want to let go of control. They want peace, but they do not want to surrender their bitterness or anger. But the secret to living in victory is this. Freedom requires surrender. This is not surrender to weakness. It is not giving up and allowing life to crush you. No, this is surrender to something greater than yourself. It is surrender to the one who sees your end from the beginning, the one who holds your future in his hands, the one who has already provided the strength you need to overcome. The moment you release control, the moment you let go of trying to fix everything on your own, you step into a power that is beyond your own ability. Consistent victory is not about having a life free from challenges. It is not about never facing disappointment. It is about having a foundation so strong that no matter what storm comes your way, you are not shaken. You may bend, but you will not break. You may fall, but you will rise again. This is what happens when you surrender. You exchange your weakness for his strength, your fear for his courage, your defeat for his victory. Some of you have been carrying the weight of guilt for far too long. You keep replaying the mistakes of yesterday, convincing yourself that you are unworthy of a new beginning. But I want you to know, the past cannot hold you hostage unless you allow it to. The moment you surrender that guilt, the moment you say, I can't carry this anymore, you will find that freedom was waiting for you all along. Others have been living with bitterness, unforgiveness, and anger towards someone who hurt them, and it feels almost impossible to let it go. But hear this truth. The longer you hold on to that hurt, the longer you stay bound. Forgiveness does not excuse what was done to you, it sets you free from being chained to the pain. You cannot live in victory while dragging the chains of yesterday behind you. Surrender is not a one-time act. It is a daily decision. Every morning you wake up, you choose whether you will carry yesterday's burdens or whether you will lay them down. You choose whether you will walk in fear or whether you will walk in faith. You choose whether you will keep control or release it to the one who can do more with your life than you ever could. When you live surrendered, something shifts in your perspective. You begin to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. You see failure not as the end, but as a stepping stone toward something better. You see pain not as punishment, but as preparation. And suddenly, even when life does not make sense, you can have peace because you know you are not fighting alone. Victory is not a destination, it is a lifestyle. It is a decision you make every day to rise above negativity, to speak life over your situation, and to refuse to give in to hopelessness. It is choosing to believe that even when the night is dark, the morning is coming. It is knowing that no matter what happened yesterday, today is a brand new day filled with new mercies and fresh opportunities. But understand this, you cannot walk in freedom if you keep clinging to a defeated identity. If you keep seeing yourself as broken, as hopeless, as a victim, you will never live as the person you were created to be. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are not defined by the mistakes you made. You are defined by the grace that has been given to you. And when you embrace that identity, when you see yourself as someone chosen, forgiven, and loved, you can walk into any situation with confidence. Your victory is not just about you. The people around you are watching. Your family is watching. Your children are watching. Your friends are watching. And when they see you rise out of defeat, when they see you live with hope in the face of hardship, when they see you walk with peace even in the storm, they will begin to believe that freedom is possible for them too. Your life becomes a living testimony of what is possible when someone decides to surrender. So today, I challenge you, stop living in defeat. Stop replaying the past. Stop letting fear control your decisions. Stop trying to fix everything by your own strength. Let it go, lay it down, surrender it all. And when you do, you will step into a freedom and a victory that does not fade with the changing seasons of life. Tomorrow, when you wake up, speak life over yourself. Say, today, I choose freedom. Today, I choose to trust. Today, I will not let my past dictate my future. Declare it until you believe it. And when the enemy whispers that you are not enough, remind yourself that you are not fighting for victory, you are fighting from victory. The secret to consistent victory is not working harder, it is surrendering deeper. When you give up control, you gain peace. When you let go of fear, you gain courage. When you lay down your defeat, you step into destiny. Freedom has always been yours. You simply have to surrender to receive it. There comes a moment when you must stop living in defeat. Too many people wake up every day expecting to lose, expecting things to go wrong, expecting the worst. They carry yesterday's pain into today, and they let failure define their future. But that is not the life you were created for. You were never designed to live under the weight of fear, guilt, and shame. You were created to live in freedom, to walk in victory, and to fulfill the purpose placed within you. Defeat does not just show up one morning and knock on your door. It begins in the mind. It starts as a whisper, a lie that says you are not good enough, you are too broken, you will never get it right. And if you entertain those lies long enough, they begin to shape your identity. You start believing that you are the failure, that you are the mistake, that you are too far gone to recover. And once defeat takes root in your identity, it will keep you trapped there as long as you let it. But there is good news: you do not have to stay there. The truth is, victory is available to you, and it does not come just once in a while. It can be consistent. You can live a life of peace, confidence, and strength, not because life is perfect, but because you are no longer living in defeat. The secret to consistent victory is not found in trying harder or forcing your way through life. It is found in surrender. It is found in letting go of the lies and embracing the truth of who you are and whose you are. Victory is not simply a moment where everything goes right. It is a mindset and a lifestyle. It is waking up every day, refusing to let fear hold you back, refusing to let guilt paralyze you, refusing to let regret stop you from moving forward. Victory does not mean the absence of battles. It means knowing who is fighting with you and for you. Every time life knocks you down, you get back up because you know your story is not over. Some of you have been living under the weight of yesterday's mistakes. You have convinced yourself that what you did disqualifies you from what God wants to do in your life. You have let your failures become your identity. But hear me, your failure is not final. Your past does not have the power to cancel your future. There is a way out of defeat, and it begins with seeing yourself the way God sees you. Identity shapes destiny. If you see yourself as a victim, you will live like a victim. If you see yourself as a failure, you will live in failure. But when you begin to see yourself as chosen, forgiven, redeemed, and empowered, everything changes. You start making decisions from a place of confidence instead of fear. You stop chasing approval from people who do not understand your calling. You stop letting the past control your future. The secret to consistent victory is letting go of the defeated identity and embracing the victorious one. That means letting go of bitterness, letting go of fear, letting go of unforgiveness, not because the other person deserves it, but because you deserve peace. You cannot carry resentment and still expect to walk in freedom. You cannot hold on to anger and expect to walk in joy. You cannot keep replaying the pain and expect to step into your purpose. Victory begins when you release what is weighing you down and allow God to take control. This is not about trying harder, it is about trusting deeper. It is not about being strong enough, it is about knowing that His strength is enough. Consistent victory is not about never falling. It is about knowing that when you do fall, you do not stay there. You get up, you keep moving forward, you keep speaking life over your situation. When you wake up tomorrow morning, you have a choice. You can let the past dictate how you live, or you can step into the new identity that has been given to you. Look in the mirror and speak life. I am not defeated. I am not defined by my mistakes. I am a child of God. I walk in victory today. Speak it until you believe it. Speak it until your heart begins to line up with your words. People around you need to see what victory looks like. Your family needs to see that it is possible to break free from generational cycles of fear and failure. Your children need to see that defeat is not their destiny. Your friends need to see that there is a way forward even after heartbreak, even after mistakes, even after disappointment. Your victory becomes a testimony, a light that encourages others to believe that they, too, can rise above what is holding them down. Do not let the enemy convince you that this is as good as it gets. Do not accept the lie that says you are stuck where you are forever. The same power that raised Christ from the dead is the same power that can raise you out of defeat, out of despair, and out of hopelessness. You have been given everything you need to live in victory, courage, faith, and strength for the journey. So rise up today. Make the decision that you will no longer live in defeat. Decide that you will no longer allow fear to have the last word. Choose to forgive. Choose to let go of the past. Choose to trust that God is working even when you cannot see it. Choose to walk in victory. Your identity will always shape your destiny. If you want a victorious future, you must first see yourself as victorious. Stop living in defeat. The secret to consistent victory is surrendering your life every single day and walking with the one who never loses a battle. The victory is already yours now. It is time to live like it. There comes a moment in every person's life when they must decide to stop living in defeat. You were never created to simply survive, to wake up each day weighed down by fear, worry, and regret. Deep within you is a desire to rise, a whisper that tells you that life was meant to be more than this cycle of failure and frustration. That whisper is right. You were not made to live in defeat. You were made to walk in victory, and not just once in a while, but consistently. But here's what so many people get wrong. Defeat doesn't start with your circumstances, it begins in your mind. Long before failure shows up in your life, it has already taken root in your thoughts. The enemy of your soul loves to plant seeds of doubt. You'll never change. You're too weak. You've failed too many times. You're too far gone. And if you believe those lies, they become the lens through which you see your entire life. But there is a better way. You were never meant to fight life's battles in your own strength. You have access to a power beyond your own. The moment you decide to align your heart with God, something shifts. You no longer fight for victory. You fight from victory. The battle has already been won. You simply need to walk in the reality of what has been given to you. Consistent victory is not just a single moment where everything falls into place. It is a lifestyle. It is waking up every morning with the decision that you will not let fear, shame, or regret define you. It is choosing to see every obstacle as an opportunity, every setback as a setup for a comeback. And this kind of victory is contagious. When you begin to live in victory, others begin to see what is possible for their lives. Victory inspires others. Maybe you've been carrying guilt for years, feeling disqualified because of past mistakes. Maybe you've been living under a heavy weight of shame, convinced that your story is too messy for redemption. But hear this, you are not too far gone. You are not too broken. There is freedom available to you right now. The same power that raised Jesus from the grave can raise you out of despair and set your feet on solid ground. But you must make a choice. Will you hold on to the identity of defeat, or will you step into the identity of victory that has already been offered to you? You cannot live in consistent victory while clinging to bitterness. You cannot walk in freedom while you're still chained to unforgiveness. You cannot experience new life while holding on to old wounds. Victory requires surrender, and surrender is not weakness, it is the starting point of strength. When you wake up tomorrow, begin by speaking life over yourself. Say, today, I choose victory. Today, I choose joy. Today, I will not let my past hold me hostage. Say it out loud until your mind begins to believe it. Declare it until your heart catches up with your words. Because victory is not just about what happens around you, it's about what happens inside of you. You may fall down, but victory is getting back up. You may face storms, but victory is standing firm through them. You may walk through dark valleys, but victory is refusing to lose your hope. This is what consistent victory looks like, a steady confidence that even when life throws its worst at you, you will not be defeated because the one who lives in you is greater than what stands against you. And here is the beautiful thing. When you begin to walk in this kind of victory, others take notice. Your family sees the change in you. Your friends begin to wonder what happened. People who knew you in your lowest season become witnesses of your transformation. And without even realizing it, your life becomes a living testimony. Your victory becomes the proof that breakthrough is possible. Your faith becomes the light that guides someone else out of darkness. Parents, when you live in victory, your children see it. You teach them by example that life's hardships don't have to crush them. Friends, when you choose faith over fear, you inspire those around you to do the same. Your testimony could be the very thing that keeps someone else from giving up. This is why you cannot afford to stay in defeat, because your victory will unlock someone else's. So rise up today. Refuse to let defeat have the final word. Lay down the weights you've been carrying, the bitterness, the shame, the regrets, and place them in God's hands. Choose to trust Him when it doesn't make sense. Choose to believe that He can turn it all around. Choose to take the first step toward freedom. Every day is a new opportunity to walk in victory. Start small if you have to. Forgive the person who hurt you. Speak truth over yourself even when it feels awkward. Take one step toward the dream you've been afraid to chase. These small acts of faith build a foundation of victory that cannot be shaken. You may not see the results overnight, but stay consistent. Stay faithful. Keep declaring, keep believing, keep pressing forward, because the same God who brought you this far will not leave you here. He will finish the good work He began in you. Stop living in defeat. You were not meant to be a prisoner of your past, a victim of your circumstances, or a slave to fear. You were meant to be a conqueror. You were meant to be a light. You were meant to show the world what victory looks like. Victory inspires others. Your life can be the spark that sets hope ablaze in someone else's heart. Don't just fight for yourself, fight for the people watching you. Fight for the next generation. Fight for the ones who are silently wondering if there's still hope. Show them that there is. Today is your day to rise. Today is your day to choose victory. Today is the day you stop looking back and start moving forward. You have everything you need to win this battle. Now go and live like it.